Awakened soul, that electric jolt you felt at 3:33 a.m. Your angels are sounding the alarm. Your soulmate's destiny just transformed overnight. If your entire body is buzzing right now, know this message was telepathically sent to you during last night's celestial shift. Pause. Place both palms upward. Breathe in change. Exhale old timelines. Archangel Metatron is recalibrating your sacred contract. Subscribe and activate the bell. Your rewritten love story requires these urgent angelic updates. Your like anchors this new reality. Your share becomes someone else's divine awakening. Let your higher self speak in the comments. Type, I align with this new timeline, or share your 3:33 a.m. experience. If this revelation shook your spirit, stabilize our mission with a super thanks. Together, we navigate more quantum love shifts. Now, close your eyes and say, Soul Contracts Upgraded. Your timeline revelation begins now. Last night, while you slept, the universe rewrote your love story, not in small ways, in earth-shaking, destiny-altering ways. Your soulmate's path took a sudden turn, a decision was made, a prayer was answered, a timeline was sealed, and your soul, even in sleep, felt the shift. You woke up with something you couldn't name, a pressure in your chest, a warmth in your spirit, a peace that didn't come from anything logical, because something had changed, something had realigned. And your soul already knew it. The heavens don't need your awareness to work miracles. They just need your willingness to believe one is already in motion, and one is. Last night, while your eyes were closed and your body rested, the angels stood, guard over two hearts, yours and theirs, and they whispered into your soulmate's spirit. They whispered truth. They whispered clarity. They whispered your name. They whispered, it's time. Somewhere miles from you, your person felt a pull. Maybe they couldn't name it either, but they knew something sacred had just been decided. They looked up, maybe at the ceiling, maybe at the stars, maybe at the reflection in their own eyes, and they knew, I have to move, I have to become, I have to begin. And the angels smiled, because that was all heaven was waiting for, that one moment, that yes, that shift in soul, that moment of surrender. The Lord says in Isaiah 43:19, see, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Last night, the new thing began. It didn't look like fireworks. It looked like stillness, surrender, tears maybe, prayer, definitely. Heaven didn't need noise. Heaven only needed a heart willing to step in alignment. And your soulmate said yes, not out loud, not to anyone, but deep down in the place where eternal vows are made long before they're spoken. You've been wondering why it's felt so quiet lately, why it's been so still, so slow, because God was busy preparing the roots, and now the sprouting begins. The shift you sensed wasn't your imagination. It was your spirit responding to a divine green light. Something has been released. Unblocked, unlocked. Last night they chose not just love, they chose purpose. They chose preparation. They chose the path that leads to you. They finally released the fear they held like armor. They let go of the version of themselves that wasn't ready. They looked in the mirror and asked heaven for help. to become, to rise, to deserve what they're asking for now. You and you've already started feeling it. Your body has softened. Your defenses have lowered. Your heart has been aching not with pain, but with expansion. Because your spirit knows the door is opening. You feel the vibration of it, the anticipation, the invisible echo of something new. You are being aligned. You are being drawn into position because your love story has just been rewritten. No longer a story of waiting, no longer a story of surviving, but of becoming, of receiving, of recognizing each other without resistance. They've been through the fire and you've been through the flood, but Isaiah 43:2 promises this: when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. You both made it through. You both survived the purging. Now you're being prepared for the promise. Don't be surprised if they show up differently soon. Don't be alarmed when you sense their name in your dreams, when you feel them praying, when you hear a voice in your spirit say, "Get ready," because they are preparing too, not just for you, but for forever. Last night changed everything. The decision wasn't small, it was sacred, not about convenience, but about covenant. And they chose it, they chose you. They chose the mission, they chose the version of life that includes love built on truth. They are being led now by light, by vision, by spirit. They are letting go of distractions, clearing old attachments, saying no to shallow comforts to make room for something holy. You. The reason it's been hard to sleep lately, it's not anxiety, it's activation. It's your body preparing to receive. Your mind is adjusting to the new frequency. Your heart is realigning to the new rhythm. Your whole being is being tuned to match what's coming. Your soulmate is on their way. But more importantly, they're already saying yes to growth, to commitment, to the version of themselves that can hold space for you fully. This is no longer a hope. This is unfolding. It already began. Psalm 37:5-6 says, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday." Heaven has acted. The noonday is coming, and your justice, the answered prayers, the longings fulfilled, the love that lasts, is rising like the sun. You don't need to chase it. You only need to prepare to receive. Last night, while the world rested, your love story was rewritten by angels, and today, your soul remembers, even if your mind doesn't yet, even if your eyes can't see it, your spirit already knows. Something shifted. Forever just got closer, and now you begin again. This time, with the promise etched in heaven, and the knowing burning quietly in your chest. This love was always meant to be. Type, "I am aligned with divine love," if your heart felt this shift. Let heaven see your yes, because what was decided last night will manifest very, very soon. That sudden jolt at 3:33 a.m., that was not random. It wasn't your body waking up without cause. It wasn't just a disruption. It was your energies realigning. Heaven uses the thin hours of the night to perform its most intricate miracles. When your mind is silent, when your walls are down, when your soul is most open to truth. 33, the number of divine presence, of guidance, of wholeness in the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. That jolt wasn't anxiety. It was alignment. It was your soul tuning itself to the frequency of answered prayers. The dream you couldn't remember, the one that left you teary, where you woke up feeling like something sacred had occurred. That wasn't just a dream. It was an encounter, a glimpse of the new future being woven in the unseen, a preview of a chapter you haven't consciously opened, but your spirit already lives. You were there. They were there. Maybe you didn't see faces. Maybe it faded too fast to name. But your heart remembers, because that dream was a soul visitation. Your soulmate found you in the ether, and that warmth in your chest, that soft radiance behind your ribs that didn't come from coffee or comfort, that was their soul reaching across the new timeline to find yours. They're awake to the connection now, even if they don't understand it yet, even if they haven't found the words for it. Their spirit knows. Their heart is aware. You were both pulled into alignment in the sacred silence of night because you've both been preparing. Even if in very different ways, they've been letting go, you've been opening up, they've been searching, you've been surrendering, and now, something in the heavens said, it's time. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Last night, the new season began. This is no longer waiting. This is active unfolding. This is a spiritual countdown. This is the quiet ticking of destiny moving toward manifestation. 30 a.m. was your soul's announcement. That timing is no longer delayed. That what's been held back is now being released. That the walls are falling between you. That what's separated is now being bridged. Even if you feel nothing on the surface, your spirit knows. Even if the signs feel subtle, the current is strong. Because spirit doesn't need spectacle. It needs surrender, and you've done that. You've let go of what was never real. You've stopped begging for crumbs. You've started preparing for the table. You've started living like love is inevitable, not impossible. And they feel it, even from afar. They feel the pull towards something they can't quite explain. You keep crossing their mind. For no apparent reason, they hear your name in places they've never heard it before. They feel your energy in rooms you've never stood in, because spirit transcends distance, and love doesn't require location to begin its unfolding. You are connected now in a new way, not just by memory, but by mission, not just by desire, but by design. You were awakened at 3:33 because heaven was calling your attention to the divine architecture being revealed. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are on time because time is now serving you. That shiver down your spine, that breath that caught in your throat, the tears that came without a story, all of it. Sacred confirmation. Isaiah 60:22 says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And last night, the time became right. The waiting you've endured wasn't for nothing. It was for this level of readiness, for this depth of awareness, for this sacred alignment. You didn't imagine that dream. You didn't make up that warmth. You didn't invent the divine sequence of signs. The clock struck 3:33 because the heavens struck an agreement to release what was once restrained, to accelerate what once seemed far away, to realign your soul with the one it has chosen since the beginning, and now the veil is thinner. You will feel them more clearly. You will hear their soul before you hear their voice. You will see signs before you see their face, because Spirit always sends the echo before the arrival. You'll start noticing more synchronicities. Their name, your song, numbers that follow you, dreams that feel like movies, not coincidences, codes, encoded evidence that you're being prepared for something holy, for someone sent. They are awakening too. Their resistance is melting. Their fears are loosening. Their future is being rewritten to make room for you. The prayers they didn't know how to speak are being answered through your presence. The confusion they once lived with is beginning to clear, because when love is divine, it doesn't rush. It reveals, it prepares, it builds, and at 3:33, you were caught in that revelation. You were bathed in that promise. You were reminded. You don't need to chase what's already yours. You don't need to force what's been ordained. You only need to say, yes. Yes, I'm ready to trust. Yes, I'm ready to open again. Yes, I believe it's possible. Yes, I know the signs are real. Psalm 139:16 says, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. And last night, another page was turned, another chapter began, another yes was recorded in the book of destiny, and your name was written beside theirs again. You are closer now than you've ever been, not because of effort, but because of alignment, and Spirit will continue to wake you when needed. Will continue to shake you when you forget. Will continue to whisper when your fear gets loud. Because heaven is invested in this love story. Because heaven authored it. Because heaven is watching it unfold with sacred delight. Type it now. I am in divine alignment with my sacred love. Let the angels see your yes. Let your soul respond with clarity, because the shift is already here. You are already becoming the one who receives what they once feared, and the one who finds, without chasing, what has already been seeking you. They released an old fear that was holding them back, not in one moment, but through 1,000 whispers in the night, 1,000 prayers behind closed eyelids, 1,000 breathless silences where they let go again. They let go of the fear that their heart wasn't safe to trust, that their soul was too much to bear, that their love wasn't enough. They released the old fear like leaking lanterns let go of oil. Quietly, gently, but with finality. They let go of someone who wasn't you, not because they stopped loving, but because they realized that person was never meant to stand beside them in destiny's light. They carried that person long, after they should have been released, but heaven whispered, it's time. And they obeyed, and with each release, they moved closer to who they were meant to become, to the one who holds the missing piece of their heart. They finally surrendered to the truth they've been fighting. You're not just an option. You're the only choice, the only one who creates stillness in their storm, the only one whose name unclenches their heart, the only one whose presence soothes their soul. For too long they asked, who else? They searched the periphery. Chasing what? Felt easier than the love that asked for all their rising. But when heaven pressed, they stopped. They remembered. You weren't one of many. You were the one. The angels show them whispering, it has to be them. Words not spoken in strategy, but in surrender. A confession, a divine decree, because fate felt incomplete without your name. I'm done running. not just from you, but from themselves, from their patterns, from their fear, from the cycle of near love that always ended with distance. They stop spinning. They stop hiding. They stop giving anything less than their whole soul. I choose us, not choose me. Not choose you, but us, a unity, a covenant, a merging of timelines. The version of them who never believed they could belong, belongs to you, to this, to something eternal, rising from the ashes of what was false. Scripture says in Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, 2 are better than one. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. They've stood alone long enough. Now they hear covenant calling. Now they feel destiny handing them a hand. Now they know, together, they are stronger, they are safer, they are complete. They've spent nights walking solo roads, praying for purpose, looking for signs. Now they see signs pointing toward you, pointing toward us, and their heart listens, because every step has prepared them for you. They stand now with unshakable intention, not because they don't tremble, but because they believe, not because they don't worry, but because they remember that what God unites, no one can divide. Matthew 19:6 reminds us, so they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. They have felt the joining. They have felt the oneness. They vow to respect it. This love is no longer theoretical. It's not something easy to walk away from or forget overnight. They feel it in their bones, in the way their voice softens when they think of you, in how their mind settles where your name belongs. The angels are present, charting this alignment in the heavens, recording it in Scripture beyond your midnight prayers, marking it in the scrolls of heaven. Every whisper counts, every choice matters, every yes weaves archive of eternity. You may not see them yet, but heaven does. You may not hear the whispers yet, but your soul does. Something shifted last night, something released, something aligned. And now they choose. They choose the union, the becoming, the covenant, the sacred us. So breathe, receive, prepare your own yes, because soon they will walk toward you holding both hands open, eyes steady, voice humble, heart full of invitation. It has to be you. I'm done running. I choose us. Let heaven commemorate your spiritual agreement. Let your soul echo back, I choose us too. A specific song will play 3 times in unexpected places. Not on a curated playlist, not at the club, but in the background of your day, in the grocery store aisle where you pause to choose fruit, in the back seat of a friend's car on a random drive, in the kitchen as you make tea 3 times. Each time it stops you. Your heart skips. You know it's not chance. It's a sign. You'll encounter their name in unusual ways. On a flyer, on a coffee cup, whispered in passing conversation. You'll think, why this name? Why now? Because it's not random, it's preparation, it's placement, it's destiny handing you the preview of what's coming next. Strangers will give you knowing smiles, warm glances that don't feel intrusive. gentle nods as if they see the journey. You're on. No words needed. Just recognition, a silent choir of affirmation saying, you're not imagining this. You're meant for this. These aren't coincidences. They're cosmic breadcrumbs. Truly, little markers on the path you didn't know you were following. Markers for your soul to track the way home, leading you toward the new timeline. A timeline rewriting itself in quiet revelation, where fear didn't sabotage, where hesitation didn't steal. The better one, the one where they don't hesitate to love you. You may question it. Maybe it's just my mind. Maybe it's only coincidence. But when the song plays first time, you pause, then second time. Your memory whispers, I've heard this before, because I'm meant to. By the third time, your spirit settles into knowing. Strangers smile at you, for you, because souls recognize alignment even when minds cannot explain it. At the coffee shop, barista writes your cup name. You glance down, find their name instead. A stunned breath. You hold it. You trust it. God doesn't orchestrate miracles for himself. He orchestrates them for you, to lift your eyes, to open your heart, to bring you into the story you've been praying for. Bible.
Verse Proverbs 3:6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight.
You're acknowledging he is aligning. Your path is straightening. They once hesitated, but destiny doesn't. Destiny moves. Destiny prearranges. Destiny places breadcrumbs only love would notice. When that song plays again, whether in the store, online, from a stranger passing by, your heart remembers. Your spirit steps forward, a gentle nudge, a cosmic invitation. The timeline is changing. It will. It must, because this isn't about romance. It's about alignment. It's a spiritual shift wrapped in everyday signs. You'll realize you're noticing more. A scent you shared with them, a color they always wore, a lyric that bleeds their frequency. These are sacred signals. They're heaven's way of confirming. Keep going. Trust this. They're on their way. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Heaven works above sight, beneath reason. Your breadcrumbs are divine. No, you're not imagining it. No, it's not coincidence. Yes, it's meant for you. As you walk between clocks and corners, you'll carry the soft knowing. This is not waiting forever. This is walking toward arrival. They don't hesitate in heaven's timing. Why should you? Let your heart hear the frequency. Let your spirit light up with each sign. Let gratitude rise for the markers, the melodies, the smiles. When the timeline shifts, you won't just see it externally. You'll feel it internally, a calm, a clarity, a readiness. Readiness to receive love that never hesitates. No more guessing, no more testing, no more hesitating. Just open arms, open heart, open soul. So when the breadcrumbs appear, welcome them, mark them, thank them, because they're the universe turning your story into a declaration. Type, I follow the signs to love if your soul is tracking these breadcrumbs. And remember, your timeline isn't broken, it's being revealed. Within 7 days, they'll reach out. Not with small talk, but with seismic truth, not casual words. but soul-shaking confessions. Words you'll feel before you hear them. They'll say things that make your knees weak, because they come from a place of raw knowing. Place where walls fall and defenses rest. Their eyes will hold lifetimes of certainty, not just in love, but in you, the way heaven saw you before the world did. Eyes steady like mountains, unshaken by storms, anchored in divine purpose. Their hands won't let go this time, not in fear, but in faith. A grasp that says, I am not leaving. I am here. You'll realize, last night wasn't just any night, it was the night. The night the angels moved heaven and earth to bring you exactly what you've always deserved. There was a shift in invisible space between your waking and sleep, a thread pulled, a signal sent. An alignment triggered. Isaiah 65:24 speaks, Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Last night, you spoke on the altar of your soul, without words, and heaven answered. Every thought you prayed, every tear you released, every hope you dared to whisper, they've heard it all and responded. They've been working behind the curtain, shaping courage in their heart, melting fear in their mind, rewriting the narrative of hesitation. So within 7 days, that courage becomes confession, that rewriting becomes declaration, that separation becomes communion. When they reach out, it won't be about convenience. It'll be about urgency. A passion too long postponed, a truth too potent to mute. They'll speak of things they haven't said. How I carried your name in silence. How I prayed for courage tonight. How I believed a love like this would require miracles. And tonight felt like one. Their voice will tremble, but not with fear, with awe, with wonder, with recognition that love like this doesn't come often, and when you listen, you'll feel your spirit lean in, you'll feel your heart exhale, you'll know you've been heard. In the hush of their confession, you'll remember, this is why you held out, this is why you guarded your peace, this is why you believed in bigger love. They see that now. They respect that now. They receive that now. Their certainty in your future will wash over you, not arrogant, but humble, not demanding, but devoted. Their eyes will say it before their lips. You are worth every prayer. You are worthy of unwavering. You are what I have been becoming for. And you'll respond in presence, in gravity, in something deeper than words. Because when heaven rewrites destiny, your spirit speaks first. Psalm 37:4 encourages, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. This moment, it is that promise, your delight, his giving, merged in flesh and breath. When they say, I can't wait any longer, you'll feel the universe exhale. A sigh of relief that two souls finally aligned. Then they'll say, let's not waste time. Let's not settle for hesitation. I want us now, not perfect, but perfected in surrender, not fantasy, but firm in purpose. Their words will bend the air around you, so sacred, so potent, so impossible to ignore. You'll feel your heart answer in a whisper you might miss, but heaven won't. A whisper like, yes. And hands will reach, meeting in the space between, fingers intertwining, energy flowing, anointing the moment with touch. You'll both stand in the aftermath as if you just woke from a dream. But this isn't fantasy, it's manifestation. Heaven's hand has shaped this moment. Angel wings have hovered. Destiny has spoken. and both of you are responding. When your voice meets theirs, it won't tremble. It will echo, not because you're certain, but because you've waited, because you've prayed, because this is the fulfillment. When? Now. Today. This moment. 7 days from now, it will feel like destiny caught up. Heaven's answer arrived, and you'll whisper, "This is what I always knew God had for me." Their heartbeat next to yours will hum a new hymn, a song born in heaven. Their presence will feel like coming home. Home not to a building, but to belonging, to covenant, to shared purpose. Last night became the turning. Tonight is the standing. Tomorrow will be the journey, and all of it. Begun by angels rewriting your story, exactly what you deserved, what your soul longed for, what heaven ordained. So breathe now, lean in, receive. When they reach out, hold nothing back, because you are worth the seismic, because you deserve the soul stirring, because heaven has said, go. Their change sparks yours. A ripple in their soul becomes a ripple in yours. A light ignites in them, and a spark lights in you. As they rise, you rise too. Your growth inspires theirs. Not because you chased change, but because you chose courage. Every boundary you set, every lesson you learned, became a mirror for them. They see your becoming and feel permission to become too. The universe is balancing the scales now. Every moment of heartbreak, every quiet tear, every prayer whispered in secret is being repaid with this union. It's cosmic justice. It's divine harmony. It's a great reversal in the symphony of heaven. Every no you accepted was making room for this sacred yes. You didn't refuse out of fear. You refused out of wisdom. You refused out of self-worth. You refused because your soul knew something better was already underground, growing, and now that sacred yes is breaking the surface. Bible verse, Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." All of it. Refusals, reflections, refinements. They were purpose stepping stones in the journey leading to this moment. Your no was not rejection. It was redirection. A divine pivot pointing toward this holy alignment. Now, everything you chose to walk away from, you walk forward toward. Their awakening carries the memory of your refusal, not to reject, but to rise, not to harden, but to have heart. They felt it when you let go. They softened when you stood firm. They found courage when you said not yet. They felt the weight of worth, and now they step into worth too. Your growth didn't make them smaller, it made them bolder. Your boundaries didn't push them away. They showed them what safety looked like. Your rise didn't intimidate them, it invited them. The universe is balancing the scales now, not because it owes you, but because heaven promised you. Psalm 37:4-5 instructs, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him and he will act. You delighted, you committed, you trusted. He is acting. Their change sparks yours. Your growth inspires theirs. Together, you are forging something beyond effort. You are forging covenant. Every no you accepted was making room for this sacred yes. Your heart, tended in silence, your mind, mended in solitude, your spirit, softened by struggle, now hold fertile soil, and their heart is now free to plant. Their mind is now free to dream. Their spirit is now free to say yes. This is alignment. Divine meeting of courage and covenant. They will reach for you with reverence. You will lean into them with peace. Together, you will embody what grace looks like when healing meets destiny. Their courage rises because yours rose first. Your readiness blooms because theirs blossoms too. The universe watches now. It sees the scales tip. It sees the balance shift. It sees the union form. Every tear, every sigh, every midnight whisper. It matters. They are seeds that watered your future. And now, they become fruit. This sacred yes carries the weight of every no you ever chose, of every goodbye you endured, of every boundary you tended, of every prayer you released. It is bigger than romance. It is spiritual justice. It is heaven's handshake. When they reach for you, let your hands meet theirs with certainty. Let your gaze meet theirs without fear. Because this is growth reflected, change reciprocated, love recognized, destiny affirmed. Your story isn't about endurances, it's about emergence. Their transformation is now rooted in your example. Your transformation is now mirrored in their devotion. This is cosmic balance, not in theory, but in lived reality. The angels sing in their world. The angels whisper in yours, because this alignment isn't just earthly, it's eternal. Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Your steps, their steps. Heaven's great plan, the universe, it pivots on moments like this. Covenant emerging from courage, union wrought from refusal, destiny fulfilled in shared becoming. So hold fast, refuse fear, receive faith, and speak your sacred yes when they do, because your no has led you to the only yes that truly matters. Together now, begin in alignment, in faith, in covenant. Type, our yes rewrites destiny, and let heaven hear your shared vow. Stop looking backward, not because your past wasn't important, but because it no longer defines you, because the timeline you lived in has closed its doors. You've left that chapter. Now, start preparing your heart for a new one, a chapter written by heaven. For the love that's coming, not a wish, not a fallback, but a divine certainty. This isn't a rerun of old patterns, it's a fresh covenant. It's not a steady hope, but a steady knowing. Stop replaying the old lines. I always get hurt. I'm not enough. Love never lasts. They're echoing from a broken record, and the song has changed. Heaven has flipped the record and written a whole new melody, one in a minor key of hope, one in a major scale of destiny. Start prepping your heart softly, slowly, gently, like planting seeds in sacred soil. Render grief into gratitude, anger into awareness, lost moments into lessons. You are not broken, you are becoming. Let your walls breathe, allow your armor to lower, because this love will not breach your heart. It will dwell there, and in its dwelling, strength is born not through closure, but through presence. Let your soul exhale. It's okay to rest now. The journey wasn't wasted. It was rehearsal. Scripture reminds us in Lamentations 3:22-23, because of the Lord's faithful love we do not perish, for his mercies never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. This is a morning for your heart, a fresh mercy, a new covenant. Stop looking backward. The old timeline is a classroom, but your graduation has already happened. Now, you're entering the commencement. It begins with a whisper in your spirit. Stay open. When your mind wants certainty, stay open. When your heart wants assurance, stay open. When logic demands proof, stay open, because divine certainty doesn't depend on visible signs. It depends on your willingness to receive. Start choosing differently today. Say yes to simplicity and love. Say yes to vulnerability. Say yes to real conversations. Say yes to moments that matter. You're not preparing for someone. You're preparing with someone. Growing together, evolving together. Standing in covenant together. Each boundary you set teaches what safe love looks like. Each step of faith you take carries you into divine favor. Each moment of release you offer makes space for heart invitation. Stop searching for explanations. Stop measuring potential by past failures. Stop trying to engineer outcomes. Stop trying to rationalize miracles. Instead, pray, forgive, breathe, and wait in peace. Because love that's divine will respect your pace. It will honor your healed parts. It will kneel before your scars with reverence. Proverbs 31:25 offers strength. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. You are worthy, clothed, dignified, without fear, because beauty lies ahead. Start envisioning your future, not as a void to be filled, but as a canvas already painted in the colors of covenant. Picture this: morning light with them, comfortable silences, shared prayers, broken pieces held together not because they healed fully, but because love keeps healing them together. Let that become your new rhythm. Prepare your heart for the love that's coming, every beat seeking space for tenderness, every inhalation clearing hardness, every exhalation thanking heaven for the promise. You don't need to chase. You don't need to shrink. You don't need to guess. Because when certainty comes, you'll recognize it. Its voice will be calm, not desperate. Its presence will be soothing, not performative. Its touch will bring peace, not pressure. Your heart will remember every lesson. Your spirit will echo every prayer. Your soul will resonate with every promise. And when they appear, it won't feel like lightning struck. It will feel like sunrise. The sky won't break apart. Your soul will align. So, stop looking backward. Start laying foundations today. Let go of old stories. Lean into your transformation. Wake each morning believing what is coming is worthy of this waiting. Your heart is not empty, it's ready. A divine certainty is being prepared above, and now it's being invited to settle within you. Type, "My heart is open to divine certainty." Let heaven witness your alignment and watch as your next chapter begins with purpose, peace, and promise. When they stand before you, speaking words that feel both new and ancient, pause. Remember this moment. Hold it in your bones. Feel the weight of time folding around your presence in a holy intersection because you felt the shift before your mind could process it. That was your soul recognizing its way home. Your spirit remembered a promise whispered long before this lifetime. A promise that said, 2 souls, 1 covenant. When their voice flows, soft, sure, unscripted, you'll hear echoes of celestial chambers where your names were first spoken. Biblical reminder, Psalm 139:16 tells us, "Your eyes saw my unformed body." All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Before you needed this moment, it was already known, written, destined, so breathe. Let your heart slow. Let your spirit rise. Let the air between you hold the echo of your unspoken yes. That feeling in your bones of homecoming is real. It's not nostalgic. It's a spiritual alignment. When their words land, you'll sense layers. A past lived, a future unspoken, held together by this moment. When they say your name, it won't be just sound. It'll be recognition from a heart that already knows yours. And you will answer in presence. With tears of remembered vows, when your eyes meet, you'll see the cosmic choreography that has been at work since forever began. This moment isn't new. It is ancient and sacred, because your souls met before your bodies did. And now, this is the proof. You felt that shift earlier in dreams, in signs, in gentle nudges through days of wait. But tonight, you recognize it alive. When they speak words like, "I have traveled lifetimes for this. Your heart spoke to me before we even met. I see us." You will know they are speaking from the soul of covenant. This is not fantasy. It is destiny realized. You may reflect later. How did I know? Your answer will be this. You felt it long before you knew the words. Let the memory of this shift anchor you in the days to come. Let it remind you you aren't building love. You are remembering love. And every step you take will ring with clarity and purpose. Let heaven's echo carry you forward. As they speak, your soul remembers when you first said yes, in secret, in spirit, at the foundation of time.